All right, guys. So, welcome back to another podcast, and this one's going to be an interesting one. I really like talking about it. I'm really passionate about this because before we started the video, you said you were part of the statistic, and
He
I
is
am
the
also.
statistic. He's
I am more than a statistic. I am a living.
he's part of the train wreck of what the college system has become.
It's
But
insane. And
I
before we keep going, why
right,
are you wearing
these right
those?
here.
Yeah,
Um, I started wearing prescription glasses. I can't see anymore.
you're so full of crap. You have
No,
20/20 vision, bro.
I do have 20/20 vision. I'm perfect. No, I'm just playing. That was a joke. Jeez. No, for real though. These have a blue light blocking technology, and yeah, you guessed it, boys. This is new jade black. Does that focus?
Did it focus?
There we
There it
go.
is. Jade Black.
New
And
jade
and
black
I have
collection.
some more here.
But the beautiful part about these new
The
jade
clays.
so this is the regular clays, but this stuff is using our Italian acetate. So this is acetate made in Italy. The metal hardware is better than ever, and then on top of that, you got them right there.
New designs.
The lenses are CR39 polarized lenses, which is what Ray-Ban and everybody else uses. So this is like top. Like this makes our previous collection look like crap pretty much, because
Yeah.
this is like I promise you, when you get this in your hand and feel this Italian acetate, you're not gonna believe it. But the crazy part is that they're still 49
$49. There is no company out there that can beat us.
There ain't.
Period.
There ain't. And that's
And
the thing.
we do use Italian acetate.
That's the thing. I did go to college, but if I hadn't go to college, my line would have been, I didn't go to college, but I do like make the best products in the world. Like, that's
But
what I
ye-
focus on.
But
I
yeah,
did go to college.
We
so.
did go to college, and we are part of. We are the reason why I think us going to college makes me believe more than college is a big ass scam.
Oh yeah, I actually like the fact that I went, because I can now say,
Oh, it's a scam.
it doesn't work.
Prove. It changed my mind.
Correct. Well, I mean, I never was crazy for it to begin with, but back to the glasses. These are blue light, in case you guys ask, blue light blocking technology that we have in these frames that are going to be for sale. So the cool thing with this is that you can wear them all day, and it blocks the blue light, so it doesn't mess with your melatonin levels. Usually when you're on your computer screen or on your phone, it's very harsh on your eyes. It messes with your melatonin levels, and that's why people can't sleep at night. With these, it blocks the blue light. Your internal body clock's on point, and you look like a stud wearing them. So win, win, win,
And
win.
you can wear them all day.
And I said that without a college degree,
Yep.
but I do have a college degree.
So yeah, we are. I went to school. You went to school.
All right.
I,
Background: he graduated as a lawyer.
so yeah, I spent 4 years undergrad for a major, and then 3 years of postgraduate
Correct.
for a law degree.
Correct. I did a finance degree. So when I was in school, my dream, not my dream, I thought my goal was going to be to go to the Wharton School of Business, which that's like the Harvard for business guys. Like if you go to Wharton, you're a boss. So that's what I wanted. That was going to be my next step, and thank God I did it.
Yeah,
Thank God I
because
didn't.
you would have ended up like me with a massive student loan that
On
I'm
your-
still
on your
paying
back.
off.
So why don't you? Do you want to tell them how much you made out the door?
All right, so
Your first job?
yeah, so I
So,
went to law school.
How about we?
They
how about
promised me
we-
so.
How about we? We gotta play the devil's advocate.
Okay.
All right. I'm gonna fight for college for a little bit.
Okay.
And you fight against college.
Okay.
Because I think there's pros and cons.
There,
Right.
there are
So,
some instances
I'm
where
pro,
you should go.
you're
to,
con.
Okay.
Go.
You
Is
should never.
college worth it?
No, it's not worth it at all. The price that you
I think it
pay,
is.
The price that you pay.
I think you're wrong.
Please tell me why. Exactly.
Because my feelings are hurt.
Okay, this is not a snowflake.
No, but all right. So go ahead. I'll let you finish.
So, it is not worth it. For example, I went to law school, and thank God I didn't have an undergrad loan, but majority of people come out with a loan of $40,000, and then on top of that, you go to either law school or if you go to any other postgraduate. I went to law school. I have a $200,000 debt on top of that, so that's a $240,000 debt that a lot of people have if they weren't lucky as I was. And they promised me that I was going to make at least $60,000 when I was going to leave law
Correct.
school. And the truth was that as soon as I left law school, I got my first job before I even graduated, but I was only making $30,000.
that's a teacher's salary, buddy. I can't even
with a
defend that.
$200,000
Here's
debt.
my argument for college. This is gonna be hard. So the reality is, yes, you're right. But now you have, let's use the classic argument. Now you have something that nobody can take away from you. That degree is yours, buddy.
Can I get a refund? Because I would refund that crap in a heartbeat.
But guess what? Everything go to crap, and nobody will steal that from you.
Yes, I'm still making 30 grand and still have a $200,000.
But you could argue that if you excel in your position, you could therefore, after 5 to 10 years, make $250,000 or 6 figures at least.
According to a study that Goldman Sachs did, and I have it here, it says that any graduate, and this is not even including postgraduate degrees,
Hey, don't get mad at me. I'm just I don't even
that
like college.
graduates in 2015 won't break even until they're 31. And that's just with like a 40,000 debt. And if you graduate in 2030, you're not going to break even until you're 33. And then you graduate in 2050.
Most people will graduate around the time. Well, see, that's the thing. Well, you got to put it into perspective, though, right? So let's argue you graduated law school at 26. You're going to break even.
No. That's just college. That's not even postgraduate. That's just college. So imagine going to postgraduate. And that's what I was saying. Just college for example, tuition back in 1976 was around 10 grand. Okay? Now, for a public school college, it's around $33,000. Okay.
So, again, so you're investing in your knowledge. Therefore, maybe the problem is not college, but the branches that you're choosing to go to. So college is not the problem. Maybe the problem is misinformation from I guess, from leaders or from teachers or whoever you look up to, not telling you what you really should be getting, right? Because that was just for lawyer. But maybe lawyers are outdated. Like, there's just an oversaturation. This is basic supply and demand in economics, right?
So look at the medical field.
So if you have a lot of lawyers, there's a lot of supply. The demand's going to be low. Therefore, they're going to pay less because I don't need you. I can get another person, right? So this could just be a basic supply and demand issue and not a college issue.
But it happens with every field. Because look at doctors. Doctors come on making 40,000 tops.
Again, straw man, you're incorrect. Because here's the thing. So doctors, same thing, but doctors and lawyers are very similar, where these are the two degrees that most Indian, Spanish, and black parents think this is what you need to become to be successful. So all these people, all these minorities are trying to be this. Again, supply goes up. Demand is still the same.
Please tell me any other thing that you can do in college.
Let me finish. Supply's really up, demand's really low, right? Or demand stays equal, or what it's always been, because you always need doctors, you always need lawyers. So therefore, you're paying less and less for doctors, because if he's not going to work for me, he'll work for me for less, right? That's the reality. This is supply and demand. So again, supply and demand issue, not college issue. If you're smart, you go get a computer science major, where you got Facebook, Google, literally giving $100,000 signing bonuses to kids coming out of MIT to join the programming.
It would happen the same thing then. The supply and demand is going to go up as soon as everybody starts doing it.
And
that's what happened with doctors and lawyers.
It's a parent issue where me as a parent, let's say, I'm going to be smart now, right? So if this is a supply and demand issue, not a college issue, I'm going to study the market, right? Look at a trend. And right now, let's say if my kid was going into college, I'd be like, your ass is going into computer science, right? Because this is...
But what happens if he doesn't like that?
Okay, but... I'm playing the devil's advocate. Don't attack, right? Your ass is going to computer science. This is what's going to give you your ROI down the road, right? You go into computer science, and the chances are you're gonna be one of those kids that you got these big tech firms fighting for you, right? There's a shortage of these guys. You need more of these guys. Now these guys are safe. So yeah, if a tale of new computer science with a huge supply comes in, you're pretty much established. Now you have also work experience that you can battle any newbie coming in. If you got 10 years of work experience in any field, you don't have to worry about what's coming in new, fresh out the dock, if you stay fresh, right? So
that's the thing, and a lot of people don't stay fresh.
That's not a college issue. personal issue.
Well, it's not
So-
even about that. It's just the pricing of college has gone up. And it's
So-
gone up between 1976 and now. If you compare it, it's gone up
But if you
125%.
got Facebook paying you $100,000 signing bonus just to sign to them, if you're one of the best in the field, you're paying for your college, right?
What happens if you're not the best in the field?
So the issue again here, supply and demand, not college.
No, the issue is
Or
college's
I would
prices
even
and
argue.
tuition.
I would even argue issue is supply and demand. Parents, not college, because you also got parents that are like, oh, I just want you to go to college. You need a degree.
Oh, that's
And then
another issue.
And
Yes.
then what happens? Oh,
You just go get
I get a women's
studies. Those are the
Or I
and
get
that's the problem
a
with
liberal
college,
arts.
that they offer those degrees. That's a problem with
That
college
is
too.
a waste of money.
That's
What
a
are you
problem.
gonna do with that?
Exactly, but that's a problem with college. They're offering that just so they can take your money. They should be better and not offer that and offer jobs and things that are actually worth.
Well, life
doing.
isn't rainbow and unicorns. Life is you need to get yours. They're getting their own. They're smart. You outsmart them.
Yeah, but I mean, most of the people, the kids that go to college, are going to find themselves. That's what they kind of like. When you go to college, they go to college, find yourself, learn yourself. You know what I'm saying? And that's not the
Okay,
place to
so
go.
let me remove the devil's advocate because I think I won that debate. But y'all can comment down below. But I actually don't believe college. Even me making up those arguments I made that out of my ass right now. But let me just explain something real quick. While I do believe supply and demand is an issue, I also think that I still think college is a joke because almost any degree that's not law or medicine you can learn on your own.
Exactly.
And you'll be more successful. Let me give you an example.
And
right?
not only that, you can go like a lot of dying jobs. For example, plumbers, carpenters, and stuff like that are dying jobs that are
Correct.
actually paying a lot more now because the supply is low.
Correct.
Because kids don't want to. You can do that in 2 years and not spend the amount of money you're spending to go to
Correct.
college.
No, so but what I'm saying is, let's say you don't want those middle skill jobs. Like you're bougie, you want an office job, right? I still think college is a waste. Back to what I was saying. Back to the example I was saying about the guy with experience versus the guy coming in fresh, right? So if you're a guy with 10-year experience, like if I'm hiring somebody, let's say I own a mutual fund, right? Or I'm a hedge fund owner, right? And I got 2 people coming in. I got this kid, genius, 4.0 GPA. He got a 1600 on his SAT. He freaking aced all his finance classes. Then whatever. Let's say he even graduated from school of Wharton. Then I got you. You decided not to go to college, right? Instead, you grab your 40, 60 grand that you would have, and you multiply that and turn that into $300,000 or $400,000 over the course of 5 years through smart investments. You want to know who I would hire?
The guy with
This guy.
experience, yeah,
This guy. This guy that spent 4 years learning real world tactics versus this guy that learned how to take tests.
And let me talk about that. For example,
let me just because I'm gonna forget this, because back to what I was saying. So I did finance, right? So if you take any business classes, like usually like the finance guys and the accounting guys think they're all that, right? That's the reality of it. If you go to any school, it's like that. And usually the business managers or the business administrative degrees are looked down upon. Like you're like the
trash.
The trash, right? Here's a reality. But you still have to take business classes, business management and all that stuff. All those classes I took, ask me how much they helped me build my company.
Useless.
0. The information and what I learned through failing and trying to build a company from scratch versus what I learned in books, astronomically different. Astronomically different.
School's not going to teach you how to run a business and all that. I can tell you from experience, I went to law school for 3 years. And everything that I learned in law school, I used this much. Yeah. Maybe this much. The only thing that they taught me was how to do research. Yeah. And they could have taught me that in 1 semester, and that would have been more than enough. Exactly. Everything that I learned in the field by practicing, doing, and actually teaching myself with messing up, let's say, a complaint.
And here's the thing, even in medicine. So now that I married my wife, she gave me an example that, so we were basically arguing this college issue, and I told her the same thing. And she's like, you're right. So she had a research position at where she was a researcher. For that position, you need a minimum of a bachelor's degree. She didn't have a bachelor's degree, but she had been interning there since she was 17 as like internship work, and then she moved up to that research because she had the experience that somebody with a BA would have to relearn. you know? So
Exactly.
that time that you spent wasting time, let's say your dream job was a researcher at a lab, you could have gone in there and worked your way up without, she did it without a degree, by the way, right? Without, now obviously she has her, but, you know, shout out, babe, but that's another explanation of, you know, like, you can learn stuff real world. Literally, I think the only area where you need to go to school is if you're being a doctor, and that's because you need certification.
Exactly.
You need that
And law
you're
school,
talking
'cause I
about
guess you need the
people's
certification
lives.
as well.
That's
Yeah.
people's lives.
But
That's different.
yeah, exactly.
And most people that become doctors, I mean, they're not doing it for the money. They're doing it because
Because they
love
wanna
it.
help, yeah.
And at the end of the day, what you do is kind of like what he said, right? Like, at the end of the day, I wouldn't force my kid to be like, you're doing computer science. He's doing whatever he loves. And if he loves to sing or she loves to dance, and that's what, you know, obviously find something that's going to make you money and you can sustain yourself, but you do what you love. You don't want to be tied down doing something you hate. But yeah, I mean.
Exactly. And fudge, I was going to say something. Oh, yeah, the doctors in the area, because I'm also certified as an EMT, and the paramedics in the area, at least in this area, I don't know if anybody anywhere else, but paramedics and nurses make fun of doctors. Like, really, doctors know their stuff, but they practice on the patient, because they really, some symptoms they don't even know what the hell's going on. They just run tests until they find out what's going on. You know what I'm saying? So, and it takes it back, like they don't learn much in medical school other than the basic things. That a lot of the new stuff and a lot of stuff,
So most of
it's
the
just a
learning
bunch, is in the field.
Is in the field. Most of the, I mean, you need to know your basics.
That's
I mean,
why they call it,
I
they're
can't
practicing medicine.
Correct. I can't talk about this because obviously I didn't study this as like finance. Like I would feel comfortable talking about, but this, you know, I didn't study it. But I would assume you need to know your basics of the body anatomy, how it works. Like those, like obviously you need to learn that stuff and obviously be tested to make sure.
Yeah, but you don't need 4 years of.
It's not just 4 years, buddy. It's like
Plus,
12 years. You're looking
yeah,
at like
well,
12
I'm saying
years.
just
It's
school
a
is 4 years.
long-ass career.
Then you have your
Yeah.
residency and your other stuff.
Where most of your experiences would come in, I would assume, is your residency, right? Because that's the time where you're on hands. But back to the question on hand, you know, is college worth it?
And another thing that other than that, you know, and the price of it. I mean, you're in millennials right now, and it's so much debt. I had the number here. Let me see the debt. Right now, it's all. And from 2018, Americans owe over 1.5 trillion in student debt. Trillion. You know how much? That's ridiculous. And just because of that debt that a lot of millennials have, a lot of them, you know, I have the percentage here. 41% of them are not saving. 40% don't purchase cars now. 29% don't own homes. And 15% are avoiding marriage just because they know they can't afford it and they're living with their parents.
And that's the thing. Like, it's almost leading to unhappiness because that's debilitating. It really is. And people don't see, like, it's your Achilles heel because your way of thinking completely changes. As you can see by the statistics, you don't want to get married now because you can't afford it. You can't buy cars. And the reality is, like, you know, obviously, thankfully, our business was successful when I was in college still, that I was able to pay for my classes cash, but not everybody has that benefit to the point that you're looking back and you got that big ass loloan just
scary
taunting you. You can't buy a house because you got that big ass loan.
Yeah.
You can't get a car like you're saying. You can't do all these things. And now it comes, your mind goes into survival mode, right? So now your mind thinking is, all right, you're trying to just get by, get by, and be able to survive with this big ass loan on your back. Whereas when you don't have that, that's debilitating you, your mind thinks differently. Like, all right, how can I make more money? Like, you're not worrying about this that's crippling you. You're worrying about looking into the future, right? And another thing is, like, I know some might argue that that's a good thing, but that's only if you're really like
you're using it to get a return.
Correct, and that's if you're literate in like finance. Like, you can use debt for positive, right, to make money if you work off like the difference from the interest in what you're making. But that most people that are in debt, it's not because of that. It's either because they have crazy student loans or crazy shopping bills, and that's debilitating.
This is another what was it? Number that I liked, and I found it interesting. Less than 50% of the women and 30% of the men have passed their traditional milestone to manhood, which is basically, or reached it by the age of 30. You know what I'm saying? Which is, you know, buying a house, finishing school, moving out of your parents, being financially independent. Right now, Like I said, it's only 50 to 30%. Back in the 60s, 77% of the women had reached that milestone by 30, and 65% had. So it basically was cut in half.
Damn, that's true. I mean, it's crazy to think about that. We're anomalies at this day and age. Me as 24, owning my own house, owning cars, having my own family, all that stuff, and same for you. It's weird. Most people at this age, even 30, they're still struggling. They don't own their own home. They don't, or even they're barely. Bro, some people are still living with their parents.
And I had a number here. I don't know if I can find it, but the number of students and after even they graduate that are in the poverty line and they live paycheck to
I saw that.
paycheck
I read that
is
somewhere.
ridiculous.
It's
Let me
go
see.
to that right here. 14% of community students are homeless, and a 2017 study found that 14% of community college students are home. That's another, like, community college to me is such a waste of time, bro. I remember I took a couple community college classes for my AA because I did dual enrollment.
Yeah.
And so while I was going to high school, I was taking college level classes. Bro, I would sleep.
Yes, it was the
I would
easiest
sleep.
classes
Bro,
ever.
college is such a waste to the point that even my finance classes. So some classes, if you take finance, are somewhat difficult, especially later, like the upper level ones. Bro, I would go in there and work. I was literally on my computer working. I wasn't even paying attention, and then
Yeah.
I would just show up to take my test.
Exactly.
I got my degree, bro. Flying colors.
And it's sad
Cake.
because colleges are pushing you to go. Yeah, you need a college degree for this. You need the college degree for that.
College is a business.
Exactly.
It's a
And
business.
it's scary to see that 14% of them are homeless.
And I ain't
14%.
even mad at college.
No.
I'm mad at the information that's out there. You're
Exactly.
making them richer. That's the reality
Exactly.
of it. College is a business. They're not here to help you. They're here to help themselves.
And that's what you have to keep in mind whenever you want to go to college. And one of the things that I hate about college as well is that they're ill-educated. Most of the kids that leave college are ill-educated. They don't know the basic of mathematics,
Bro,
civics,
you can go
reading.
toe to toe with most college students. They don't remember what
Because
they just learned.
They were too drunk, passed out, and the fraternity party.
College is a party.
Parties. Yes.
Especially if you go off to college, to like state college, you're going to party. And like I said, in the real world, they wouldn't go toe to toe with most college students. Like they wouldn't just match up.
No.
They wouldn't.
No, they
would crumble.
they're dumb.
Yeah.
They're dumb. And that's the thing too, another thing, you can get a better, right now there's a skill gap going on. We need plumbers, we need welders, machinists, and construction workers. And right now these jobs are actually paying a lot of money, and you can actually make more money by going to, getting a certificate or whatever, or, learning from other people and getting a job in this than going to college. And there's a huge...
And that's for people that want to do it, obviously. Not
No,
everybody
of course,
wants.
not everybody
But
wants you can
a labor job.
You can open a new, your own business or
Yeah.
whatever. But college is not in my opinion, the way to go if you want to make some money and have a good living. Honestly,
Me either. So, like I said, I do have a degree. I've used, if I had to put it into percentages, I think the most valuable skill that I learned from college that I can give you, like, hands down, was my usage of Excel. Like,
he's really good at Excel, and I
love Excel.
Thank you FAU for that.
Thank you community. No, it wasn't community college. It was state college. Thank you college for that. I'm a beast at Excel. Like, I love Excel. Like, I love, like, but it's because it's a puzzle too, and I like like messing with things. That's about the only thing that was useful for. So, and I have a lot of like Excel sheets for like finances and like keeping track of stuff, right? That's it. But guess what? I could have probably done a course on Excel for like $100 online.
And it would have been
or
cheaper.
actually, I could have done it for free on YouTube.
Yeah,
to be honest.
probably, yeah.
And I would have been just as good, if not better.
Another thing that I hate about college, and the reason I despise it, is that nowadays, especially after I graduated, I've seen it a lot, that professors are kind of like indoctrinating kids. You know what I'm saying? Teaching them their way. If you have a liberal professor and you're a conservative, they're gonna try to push that in you.
Oh, I mean,
and
vice
versa.
I think that was, at least to me, that was always the case. And the crazy part is that they'll indoctrinate you with anything. There was a point that I went through, like I said, like an agnostic point that I was questioning, God's existence, if it existed or not, because I had a lot of atheist professors, and I like science when it's like, astronomy, right? I liked I loved when a professor would talk about quantum mechanics, but I didn't take those classes. Those were the classes that were required, like prerequisites, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of them were atheist, and they would spew their atheist, and that's fine. But again, it that indoctrination happens with anything, you know.
Yeah, but I think it's a lot going on in college, especially
Yeah.
in the biz, because I think the professor uses that power of I'm the professor, I'm in charge, and I'm just gonna,
I'm the authority.
yeah, and
But
and show
it's
you this is, and then a lot
again,
of kids are so
they're so
immature and weak
weak-minded.
that
Yeah.
they believe anything they hear,
Because the way you take information is you take it, you consume it, and then you see if it's true. You put it to
and
the
you
light.
do the
You
research.
use your own logic, your own reasoning, and see if this is true or not. Just because he has a degree, I
Doesn't
would
mean
wipe
anything.
he could have a PhD in whatever.
And I could care less. Yes.
Everybody has their own intent, their own goals, their own greed that they'll spew. When they're teaching. So it doesn't matter what they have, and that's just the part of the student. How weak they are.
And yeah, that's a problem
get-
though. A lot of the students going now
Yeah.
are weak. And one of my favorite thing is like seeing how many successful people have never gone to college
And
or
that to
they
me just
dropped
that
out.
to me just like is the final signature. Like
Some of the
here's
famous
thing.
people.
Here's the thing.
Go ahead.
All of it is theory at the end of the day. Everything we just said, it's all theoretical. It's
Yeah.
like, this is what I believe, this is what you believe. I want to see hard proof. I want to see in real life it working. And I think this is that
Exactly.
where
They're
you're seeing
millionaires.
You're seeing visionaries, creatives. These are guys that changed markets, changed the world really. They didn't do it with college
they didn't do it
because
with
college
college.
teaches you how to fit in a box. That's what it teaches.
They
how to stay
make
there.
employees.
They make
not
they make
bosses.
great employees. But the guys that are visionaries, the guys that are going out there and creating the jobs, the guys that are thinking outside the box,
They dropped
a
out.
lot of them don't come from college, especially like the real world changers.
So let's look at a list of some of them here. Richard Branson, that's the founder and chairman of Virgin
Beast.
Group.
I think he has like
millionaire.
hundreds of companies, which is insane.
Yeah. Then you have Charles Culpepper, owner and CEO of Coca-Cola. Ellen DeGeneres, comedian and actress.
She's a hell of a real estate
Yeah,
mogul.
she does
apparently,
amazing.
She flips home
How-
millions of dollars.
What did you call her?
Mogul.
Okay.
College.
Got it right this time. Michael Dell, founder of Dell Inc. Walt
Who
Disney.
uses though?
Well, back in the day, that was huge, though. And it's still, I think, in the business side,
I
it's
think so,
huge.
yeah.
Yeah. Walt Disney, Disney Corporation, Bill Gates, the richest man in the world for years until Jeff Bezos kicked him off. But he's still one of the richest men
Yeah.
in the world. So, Steve Jobs, he was a huge visionary. I mean, he created the iPhone before
He did
a
a whole
lot of
movement.
any other
He changed
company did that.
electronics, phones forever.
Exactly. Chef Wolfgang Puck, Steve Wozniak, Mark Zuckerberg.
Wolfgang Puck is a great example of what I said, where you find what you love. This man loved to cook. He created a whole empire around being a cook.
And he's an amazing cook, and he didn't go
Billion,
to college. Yes.
$1 million empire.
Yes.
Or I don't know. Yeah, I think it's a multi-million-dollar empire.
Yeah, because he has brands of stuff too.
Yeah.
I think and knickknacks that you can use for the kitchen.
Mark Zuckerberg,
Mark
Facebook.
Zuckerberg. This guy is a genius. I mean, he created Facebook, and he owns WhatsApp now, Instagram, and all that. And he's
A whole conglomerate of social media.
billionaire. It's insane.
So back to square one. If you're a kid, you're thinking about going to college, don't. No, I'm just playing.
I mean, it is up to you, but always do your research before you do it. Don't pick degrees that are worthless. Do something
I think your
lawyer,
first step,
doctor.
be
if
very
you
smart. Be very
really
smart.
want to do that.
Find what you love, first of all. Figure out what is it that you love, right? To me, if I were to do it all over again, I think, and I would still be an entrepreneur. I love being an entrepreneur. I love building things. But let's say that was off the table. I would have done computer science. I like that. That sounds interesting to me.
Yeah. Technology has always been something that I've loved too. And I
the
would
future,
probably do
that to
something
me
like that.
sounds so interesting. It blows my mind when you start hearing all these advances, right? But find what you love, something that interests you, and then find a career in that. And obviously, be smart about it, right? Which one is going to pay me the best ROI?
And no.
What's the best return on my investment? On my time, which is an opportunity cost, by the way. The time that you spend in school, whether it's 4 to 10 years.
I have that there. Yeah, a little opportunity cost.
Okay, that's an opportunity cost.
50 grand, basically, in those 4 years you're missing if you go to college. You could have made 50 grand in those 4 years.
If not more.
If not more. That's the minimum, yeah.
If not more. And on top of the debt you're getting into, right? So for that return, if I'm going to put $50,000 worth of my time and then another $50,000 worth of tuition, which is $100,000, what degree is going to pay me that in return, a return on investment, right?
Yeah.
That's what you're looking for.
And also be smart. Just because you want to do computer science or coding and all that, you don't have to go to college. There are courses out there you can take and learn and be better than anybody that graduated from college.
100%. 100%. So, yeah. So if you're thinking about going to college, or if you don't want to go to college and your parents are forcing you, prove them wrong. Don't just say I don't want to go to college and just sit there and be a bum.
Of course, have a plan.
Have a plan, and if you're young enough, if you're 16, 17 or whatever, start working on that plan now, execute it now. So if your goal is computer science, start learning about coding now, start learning how to figure that out, build your own app, show your parents that you got that drive, and heck, if you can make money off of it, I guarantee you most parents would get off your back. If you start making money off what you love and you did it on your own, they'll get off your back, and you're going to become better at it.
And this is a cool thing. If you start, let's say, 16, 17, it takes about 3 years for you to see fruits of that business. You know what I'm saying? It's very rarely that you'll see it.
By the time you're 20, you're going to be a freaking tech beast, bro.
Exactly. And
by yourself.
And you're going to have the money that you want probably if you do it right. And you won't have to go to college because you already proved your parents wrong. You know what I'm saying?
So, and your parents will be chill, and
exactly
everything is smooth sailing. If you are in college right now, you could do the same thing. I mean, while you're doing that, I went to college. Don't tell me you're spending 70 hours a week studying. You're not. You're really not. So use that extra time. Don't party. Don't be stupid, getting plastered every weekend, and build something on the side. Because I did it. You have enough time on the side to build whatever you want.
Definitely do.
More than enough time.
You have more than
enough time. Meaning that by the time you graduate, you hopefully have built something that will pay for all the time lost, And if you're out of college and you have a degree,
you can always do a change. I mean, we have our editor here that he was in banking and all that, and he did a change of where he wants to do video editing and all that. And
the man's a beast now.
He's doing great. You still went to college, finance, but you did something different. I went to law school. We did something different. So there's still a chance and an opportunity for you.
You always have more time to change. Doesn't matter. Bro, you could be 35. You just got out of college. You got a degree, and it sucks ass, and it's not paying you.
You're still young. You can still do something.
Whatever job you have, you still have extra time. There's 24 hours in a day. Sleep only 6 hours for 3 years. You'll be fine. Trust me.
Yeah.
But that's it.
Yeah, that's about it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, this podcast. Let us know what you think. Leave a comment down below. And if you have any comments against what we said and you want to put them in the comment section down below, go ahead. We're more than welcome, and I'll answer to as many as possible. So thank you guys for watching and listening. See you guys next time.
Have a good one.